What's up, you amazing hackers? Hope you're doing well today. There are a couple of new programs that have launched on Integrity, two to be exact, and we're going to go over them in this video. So let's get right into it, shall we? Now, the first one I want to show you guys is VTM Go. VTM is like a public broadcasting station here in Belgium for the television, and they have a website, VTM Go. Really like this program because they do offer rewards, so it's not just vulnerability disclosure program. As for the domains, you can see a couple in there, only 4 it may seem, but don't let that fool you. There's plenty of functionality on the site to be tested. They have a couple of things in scope, but are specifically looking for things that like leaking of personal data and horizontal and vertical privilege escalation. Big out of scope, so make sure you read that, guys. And of course, some rules of engagement. They include that you cannot use automated scanners, so be creative, do it yourself, guys. And also they offer a safe harbor for researchers. And here you can have some examples now for severity assessments. That would be specifically, you can register for the application using your @integrity.me address. Now, if we go on to the specific approach you can take for this target, it's multi-staged. Now, of course, you cannot just go and do like a business-to-business approach here. You'll have to do things like create 2 accounts using your @integrity.me address, and then try to access their data for IDORs. For every single field that you can find, try stored cross-site scripting. You can try some XXE if you can find some XMLs inputs there. Maybe some stuff like, I don't know, SQL injection possibly. So that might be some ideas for you guys. Now, another program I want to highlight is iBoot, and I really like this one because they have a giant scope. Now, iBoot is like a company where you can buy stuff that are really far priced down. It's, I think it's mostly popular in Europe, but don't pin me down on this. It might be wrong on that. And as you can see, their scope is huge. They have a tier 2, and then they have some tier 3s in here. Not the biggest payouts, but it's a good incentive if you ask me. And of course, there are stuff in scope that don't pay out bounties, but who knows, maybe they'll pay out like a bonus if you do good enough work. Now, for the in-scope, they have that there are, for example, for the forum, you have to use this test post. So make sure that you do that, and don't use any other forum posts to test stuff out on unless you notify Integrity staff of that, of course, and you ask them to make sure that it's allowed. Now, they are specifically looking again for leaking of personal data, horizontal and vertical privilege escalation, some injection flaws, buffer overflows, and vulnerabilities that destruct data or introduce an interruption or degradation of our service. Now, that's interesting because I don't know, I'm not sure, so make sure you read the out of scope section fully, but I haven't been able to find DOS in here. So let's see, denial of service. Oh, it is, sorry, it is out of scope, so don't try denial of service. But again, if you find something that might introduce an interruption or degradation of the service, make sure that you don't test that out. Make sure that you let the Integrity staff know, and they will help you on what to do with that kind of stuff. So definitely don't try denial of service on any of your targets, by the way. That's a big tip from Uncle Rat. I don't think I need to give you guys that tip, but just in case. Now, for rules of engagement, again, no automated scanners, so you'll have to do it yourself. No public disclosure, unless you ask for their consent, of course. So make sure that if you want to disclose stuff, you ask for consent first. And again, they offer a safe harbor for researchers. Now, as for the severity assessment, again, they offer a pretty standard example table here. For example, privilege escalation will be high, SQL injection critical, but again, depending on the context, those might change. They're not set in stone. For the FAQ, again, you can self-register in the application using your @integrity.me address. But they say be aware that registering your email address will link to a specific country. If you want to order in a different country, you will need a different email alias. So that means that if you want to play around with the countries a little bit, or if you actually want to order stuff, you'll have to make another account probably. Now, really good programs that have launched. I would highly recommend these, again, for the big scope in iBoot's case and NVTM Go's case, because they do offer quite a lot of functionality in there. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, you know what to do, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye everybody.